Welcome to Talks on Tuesdays. And we will be recording this and we will post it on YouTube so people can watch us if they want later on Talks on Tuesdays and make a comment and subscribe to our channel and all that good stuff. And we'll be here for about a half an hour. And I'm Barbara Solomon. I'm here with Mary Chase, Chelsea Richens, Julie Stone, and the three of us kind of share hosting duties. And our guests are Gino and Anka and Louis Therese, Renee and Gordy. And so we're here just talking about a variety of different things, and everybody's welcome to jump in if they want, or if they want to raise their hand with the reactions button, and that's great. Or if you're on screen, you can just raise your hand if you want to talk. And we like to take turns and share, and everybody's thoughts are welcome. So today, we're going to talk about the law of attraction, and the idea came to us from Gino, and it's something that I love and is close to my heart. And I see oops, Cecilia has just joined us. So welcome, Cecilia. And I will mute my phone so that we won't be interrupted. And when this morning, I thought I'd get a little bit of information on the background of law of attraction. I think it's something that many of us are familiar with, maybe not all of us, but I was wondering, like, where did that term actually come from? And in 1855, the term law of attraction appeared in the Great Harmonia, which was written by a spiritualist named Andrew Jackson Davis in the context of the human soul and soulless spheres. And then in 1877, another famous spiritualist, Helena Blavatsky, wrote about it in a book, also talking about the power of existing components of spirit, which, as we know, makes a lot of sense. But the first person to use it in the non-spiritualist vernacular and really apply it to everyday use was a fellow named Prentice Mulford, who lived between 1834 and 1891. And he was a proponent of the New Thought movement. And he wrote two books that he talked a lot about the law of attraction. And one of them is Your Forces and How to Use Them. And the other was Thoughts Are Things. And Your Forces and How to Use Them was a series of essays that were published between 1886 and 1892. And then Your Thoughts and How to Use Them, or Your Thoughts Have Things, was written in 1889. And they're still actually available. So, in fact, I just downloaded Your Thoughts Have Things, Thoughts Are Things, which I thought was kind of fascinating. So, and I'm going to turn this over to you guys, but I'm just going to give you one more little thing about the New Thought movement. Some core beliefs of that are God or infinite intelligence is supreme, universal, and everlasting. Divinity dwells within each person. All people are spiritual beings. The highest spiritual principle is loving one another unconditionally and teaching and healing one another. And our mental states are carried forward into manifestation and become our experiences in daily living. So that sounds familiar, right? Okay, I'm going to turn it over now to Gino, who's also done some information for the group today. So Gino.
Okay, just a short synopsis here. It's based on the idea that energy precedes manifestation, and that the quality of our thoughts, moods, and attitudes determines the quality of what we manifest in our lives. It suggests that people are made of energy and that operates at different frequencies, and that similar things are attracted to one another. Proponents of the law of attraction believe that the energy you put out into the world comes back to you in what you attract, and that you have the power to manifest your desires using the power of positivity. That's it.
Thanks. Go ahead, Jules.
I was just going to say that our thoughts carry the vibrations. So it's also a vibratory, is that a word? Thing. And when we think something, it's put out in the energy and the vibration. But I also wanted to just say, just something that came to me, that I felt it's kind of, to me, what came to me was that it was like, it's like a synchronicity, because you've done something, you've experienced something, and then that experience you may think about or whatever, and then all of a sudden something like that happens, or like when you say you read a book and you go, oh, or you hear about something and then you keep hearing about it, it's like this vibrational choo-choo train, with all the cars kind of thing.
I like the way you phrase that, a vibrational choo-choo train. That's
Yeah.
so, yeah, it's accurate. That's beautiful. Yeah. Anybody else want to jump in? Mary.
Yeah, I think for me, like the first time I heard of the law of attraction was when people started doing vision boards, and they would say, "Oh, just do a collage and you'll be amazed at how things manifest. I put
did that.
like a new Corvette on my vision board, and what do you know?" And for me, that never worked. And I think that for me, what I want needs to be non-specific. If I say, I love the universe, and my day will be full of evidence that the universe loves me as well, that works for me in terms of the law of attraction. Or there's a party I don't want to go to, but I think I'm going to go, and I'm going to have a good time, and then I do. So that's how it works for me.
And that makes sense. I mean, we're all so different. I think that it makes sense that, different people manifest differently. Cecilia, what do you want to join in with?
Hi, everyone. Yeah,
Hi.
I just wanted to share that a thought is a thought, is a thought is a thought. It's how you feel about the thought that matters. That is what's most important. It's how you feel about it. Does it make you angry? Does it make you excited? Does it make you happy? Does it make you, concerned? The thought is what's most important, because you can look at all kinds of pictures, but the ones that you are drawn to, the ones that go, oh, I gotta look at that more. That is where the attraction is. It's all of a sudden, oh, I gotta see that. And all of a sudden you start seeing that everywhere, because, oh, that makes me so happy. That makes me so excited. The excitement, the love, the passion, the joy, or the anger, or the, sadness, or whatever you are feeling is what you're going to attract to you. And so that's why, I'm saying, if you're in a suffering state, yes, honor it, feel it, and get out as soon as you can. Try to find a better feeling thought, not a thought. Try to think better, but feel better. Try to find something that makes you feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more positive, a little bit more hopeful. And that is what you're going to get. That is what's going to help you to bring something joyful to you. If it angers you, appreciate that and understand there's something beautiful about that also, because there's a two-sided coin. There's that angers you. There's something on the other side. What is it? Find it, get there, get to the place that makes you happy. And that's what you're going to attract. Think about beautiful thoughts. Think about things that make you joyful. That's what I have to say.
Well, thanks. And Chelsea, she had her hand up, and then we'll go Julie and then Gina.
Yeah, it's when it comes to the law of attraction, like I'm going to back up to what Mary said about vision boards. And I think I remember that time. And I think what I've kind of learned about where vision boards didn't work was maybe you're not feeling like you love your living situation, so you put this beautiful house up on the board. You're not loving your car, so you put this car up. Well, what you're actually saying is, I'm having this feeling of not liking my situation,
Mhm.
and the universe hears that and says, oh, here's some more of that, because
Mhm.
you're putting
That's
that out.
right.
Here's some more of that to come back to you. And then,
Yeah.
so maybe it's like more of paying attention to the feeling. You may have those moments in your day, oh, I don't like my living situation, I don't like this house, but then something comes to you, I feel like taking a walk, and then that turns into, oh my gosh, this tree and this flower right here are so beautiful, and then that turns into, oh, appreciation and gratitude, and then it's the universe starts hearing those things, and those things are returned to you. And yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that,
Perfect.
yeah. And then that sounds kind of like what Cecilia was saying also, you know,
Mhm.
your thoughts have a lot to do with it. And I think that I mean, I know people who vision boards work for, but it depends on, again, how you approach that. If you see that car on the vision board, it's like, oh my God, that's my car. Yes, yes, yes. Then it's going to be differently than, ugh, I hate my car and I want that one, you know? So, okay. So let's see. I think, Julie, it was your turn, then Gino.
Yeah, I just wanted to say a couple of things. I did a vision board. I had it in a planner. And for me personally, I think I didn't even know what I wanted. And I kind of put things in there that I thought I wanted or that I should want, because I don't remember anything coming out of that. That's one thing I wanted to say. The other thing was, when Cecilia was just describing, you thinking of something that makes you happy. And I just have a really good example of that. And it has to do with my cantaloupes. Uh, we started growing. We have a big, two big composts at the end of our garden. And in the compost, this green bulb started growing, and we had no idea what it was. And we would check it all the time, and it got bigger, and it's about that big now. And then finally, Joe, my husband, realized, he said, this is a cantaloupe. And I, every time I would tell people about it, I'd say, it makes me so happy. We have a cantaloupe. Then all of a sudden I went back and I was finding all these other little cantaloupes growing, and they had multiplied, right? So it's like, so that's my example, cantaloupes.
I love that. Thanks, Jules. Yeah. Okay, Gina, what do you want to share or add?
Well, first thing is I'm going to go get some cantaloupe when this is over. But this sounds wonderful. But the word feeling has come up a couple of times here, and I've had an experience with that recently. I have to have a particular medical procedure done in early October, and I know it's very painful. And based on some pre-processed stuff I had done, and I've been dreading it. And it has to be done. So that lasted for about a week. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to have this done. It's going to be done. And the outcome is going to be great. And then you can get started on new things and continue on things you already set up. How exciting is that?
Mhm.
That is wonderful. I can't wait for that day. I don't care if it's painful or not. I can't wait. Yay. So I'm good.
Oh, good. And that's beautiful, Gino. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Because you're right. I mean, it takes some insight, I think, to be able to reframe some of those thoughts. So,
Yeah.
okay, Louis Therese, we see your hand is up. I'm glad you found the hand up, the reactions button, and now you can unmute and share.
Oh man, as I say, I'm so impressed. I'm getting along with this electronics, man.
We're glad you were able to figure it out.
What I would like to say, it is very important. What you think is what you create, and with the thought is what the reality is coming into your life and things like that. So it is extremely important to think what you really wanted and what your life should be. But what I actually want to mention, that was actually a wow moment for me. You remember that book and the movie of The Secret?
Mhm.
But they say, yeah, you must do this and then it manifests and then everything. And then John Homewood, he's a very lovely guy. And he is very giving a lot of satsangs and things like that. And then he came out with a booklet. Be careful of what you want. You still have to take care once you got what you want. And that was a wow moment for me. You know, I always thought, oh, well, if I can have that, and I can have that, you know, and then it is like, okay, now I've got the airplane, but I've got the airplane, I've got no money to put in the petrol or pay the pilots. So it is very important to be logic about what you are projecting in your life. So I just want to share that one of John Homewood, that he bring in that one about the responsibility you have of the things that you have created or asked for from the universe. But you still must be able to then remember you have to take care of it. I'm done.
Well, that's definitely an interesting perspective, and I like that. Although I guess what I was thinking while I heard you was, if I can manifest an airplane, I probably can manifest enough money to pay for the fuel and the pilots. But you're right. I mean, it's definitely something that you have to think about. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing. Hey,
Yeah, so lots of different insights and lots of different perspectives, and good to hear them all too, because we're sort of opened up to seeing things differently. For myself, I kind of don't like to have a very defined view. I like to have sort of a sketchy outline of what it is that I'm aiming for. And because I happen to be someone who loves and lives to create, the details are filled in as I go along. So sometimes I don't really know what it's going to look like. And for me, that works better, because if I have a very definitive picture, literally a picture of something, to me, that really limits things. And there are so many options and so many possibilities, and there's so much potential of what could happen that I don't really know even is a possibility. If I just sort of focus on that one thing or that one experience or that one doorway or just that limitation, then that's maybe all I'm going to see. So I like to sort of erase the boundaries of the limitation. And I always love the expression to not be put inside a frame or not be put inside a box. So when you take the lid off the box and you have it inside there, also too, to remember that it does not, I don't believe it anyway. It does not fulfill, it does not sort of, at the end of the story, it's not like over the rainbow, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's how I feel along the way of the whole journey. So just a personal example, I did apply. I mean, I did open the door, I did knock on the door for the potential of having a solo art show. Now, I don't have really much experience doing that. And when I got the confirmation that I was indeed chosen or selected to have my work seen in a solo exhibit, part of me wasn't sure I did want that. And then the logistics of getting it off the ground were pretty challenging in many different ways. So I can't say I loved all of the process from getting from A to B, but I got to say that the feeling that sort of kept me moving, the momentum that was created just from saying yes, was beyond my ability to imagine that I could even pull it off. And I did pull it off. And now I've had an exhibit 3 weeks now, and no, it isn't beyond my wildest dreams, or I haven't sold 10 paintings or none of the above. But just opening that door and saying, okay, well, I've really never done this before, so I guess I'm going to experience that in whatever forms it's presented to me. And I'm very grateful that I did say yes, because my spirit has been lifted in a way over the last few weeks that are beyond my ability to imagine that that was even possible. So yes is a wonderful gift, and all the resistance and all the playing back and forth. Do I want it? Don't I want it? Oh God, this is heavy, hard, you know. You got to let go of all that because it's all part of it too.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
not like
I,
here's the gift, you're happy now. You happy now? I hope you're happy now. You wanted the gift, and so you know.
and
My
I
take
think
on
that's wonderful, Grenade, that you did that art show and that you went out there and not knowing what you were doing, you stepped up and you did it. And it sounds like it was a fantastic experience. And thanks for sharing that. We have to move on though. Gino has his hand up. Thanks, Renee, for sharing.
Yeah, I think another part of law of attraction is that you may visualize, you may storyboard, you may do all of these things, and you're not manifesting what you want, yet something comes along that's even better. So it doesn't have to be exactly what you're visualizing, and it might be even better. So I think that's part of a law of attraction as well.
You're right, because again, it's like the vibrations that kind of are in sync. And
Yeah.
like Julie said earlier, the synchronicities that pull them together.
Mhm.
So yeah. Anybody want to make some final well, we still have a few more minutes. Anyone want to make some final comments? Okay, go ahead, Mary.
I think the big thing for me is to be aware of my thoughts and if I feel a fear rising up, deal with it. What is this really about? And to address that. And a lot of times fear arises out of ego awareness, like, oh, somebody might think that I am X, Y, or Z. And to be aware of that and what it might be attracting. I grew up with a mother who was, my grandmother had died of a brain tumor, and mother always said, oh, that's a horrible way to go. I don't want to go that way. I'll go any way but that way. And she died of a viral brain disease that had the same symptoms. And I feel like it was in her thoughts so much that it came to her.
Mhm.
And just to be aware of what's in our heads that we don't even know about. And that's one of the things that I think is so useful about meditation. And when those thoughts do seem to interrupt and flow through your head, they are signals. Oh, I didn't know I was thinking about that. Let's deal with that.
I think that's a good point, Mary. And I know we don't have much time, but I just want to bring up the word resisting something, but maybe also the opposite word, allowing.
Mm-hmm.
And but that brings up like a whole nother half-hour conversation.
Right, yeah, that's true. I like to go back to Abraham Hicks, who I think of as the law of attraction queen.
Mhm.
And her suggestion for when you're feeling, oh, and yeah, Julie's got her book. Her suggestion when you're feeling something like stress or discomfort over anything, anger, is to go general and just find something general that makes you feel better. Oh, I love the sun's out today. I can be pissed off about this, but the sun's out, and so that makes me feel a little better. Or, go play a game on your computer that just takes your mind off of whatever it is that was making you feel just uncomfortable. And it does. It opens up and helps you lose that resistance and open up to the allowing that Chelsea was just talking about. So go ahead, Anka.
Hello, I think that we are like mirrors because the facts that are happening to us maybe will happen to other person too, because they feel us, they feel how we vibrate, and what you are, it's what you attract, I think.
Yeah, totally. And I'd just like to finish with what Cecilia wrote in the chat, which I think is so beautiful. Feel the feeling. Let that be your guide. Feel the love, and that is so true. So, thanks everybody, and it was great having this conversation. And we'll see you again next week for another topic. And if anybody has any thoughts on topics, feel free to send them to us. And we'll see you again. Thanks.
Well, and I also want to say, be well, all of my children. Goodbye.
Love that.
That was great. That was great, Gino.